We are live, Vipasha. You can go. Vipasha, you're on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. A warm welcome and good evening to everyone joining in. We're truly grateful that each of you could join us in for the fifth conversation in the TECHRx series, Accelerating MedTech Innovation, where we bring to the fore MedTech innovations in India. TECHRx is a collaboration between Inc. and AMTZ. Inc. has had a decade-long history of being a flag bearer, conversation starter, and accelerator of journeys of change makers from all across the world. And AMTZ focuses on a progressive initiative by being the center for medical technology, employment, innovative research, and incubation of startups. Together, we have collaborated to create a bridge between the scientific and social segments of society with an innovative series of sessions called TechRx, where we have amazing path-breaking conversations over the course of an hour. Today's session would be a total of 60 minutes, with the last 15 minutes open for a live Q&A. So please type in your questions on the YouTube comment box with your name, and the panelists will address them during the Q&A session. With that, I would like to call upon Lakshmi Pratury. Lakshmi is a business leader, entrepreneur, story curator, and former venture capitalist. She's passionate about community building and technological innovation, which led to her founding. With that, I would request you to play the video, and then we can have Lakshmi turn on her mic and video. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. And I'm very delighted today that we have with us Arunachalam Muruganantham, lovingly called Muruga. So I met Muruga more than, a decade ago, 12 years ago, where he was showcasing his machine that using which you can make low-cost sanitary napkins. And I was so fascinated. I asked him to speak at our conference, at King Conference. And that's the first time I told him to speak in English. And he said that he did not know English very well. And I said, it doesn't matter. Whatever English you know would be the English we should share your story in, because we were very keen to present Muruga's story to as many people across the globe as possible. And I felt that the story had to come from him in his own voice instead of having him speak in his mother tongue and having it voiceover or translation, etc. So my first interaction with Muruga started with me rehearsing his talk in English with him, and he spoke at our Jaipur conference. And right after that, Fast Company wrote about him, and he became the Time Influential Man of the Year. And that talk went viral, and millions of people watched it. And then subsequently, he went on to TED and many, many platforms. He's met some of the most interesting people across the globe because of his mission of ending the problems with female hygiene. And you've all seen the movie Padman, and he's the inspiration for that movie. And you'll find out a lot more about him. I'm not going to go through his whole background, but you're going to find a lot more about him through the conversation with him. With that, I would like to have Muruga join us in this conversation. So we are a truly global audience today. We have Muruga joining from Coimbatore. I am in the UK, and some of you are in Vizag. And then we have on YouTube people joining from everywhere. With that, Muruga, welcome, and it's great to have you here with us.
So good evening, everyone. Good evening, Lakshmi, Vipasa, and all the gentlemen and sisters in AMTJ. Yeah.
Yes, and so Muruga, what I thought is for about 20, 25 minutes, we both will have a conversation, and then we'll open it up to everyone. And as I said, we had a great opportunity to have you at Inc. And that story, everybody has seen it online about your story of how you created this low-cost sanitary napkins. You told it with great humility as well as humor. As we titled that talk, The First Man to Wear Sanitary Napkin, how you had to wear the napkin and test it to see if it works or not. It's been a great journey since then. And since that talk went viral, your fame has spread to many, many continents. You've met many people. The first thing I want to ask is, ever since you started this company, what is the impact do you think this has had? You have some amazing stories of taking these machines to remote places, and have seen videos of women doing aarti to these machines because it becomes their livelihood. So let's talk a little bit about the impact your work has had in this journey so far.
So I need to start from my wife. So here everything I start off from my wife. Because usually, the story happened, I saw my wife using a rag cloth. So to help my wife, I tried to innovate, understand or decode what is the product. So far the particular product made by only transnational companies across the globe from Second World War. It's a Da Vinci Code, but I tried for 9.5 years. I decoded it. I made small equipment, then I succeed. So while the journey, I understood not only my wife, in my family, my sisters, in my village, in my country. That's why I want to, help the whole country women. So I start with my wife. Now it's gone global. So why I'm saying this? Anyone want to change the world? Please change your family first, then try to change the world. So that's my humble advice.
Yeah.
Then
And I also want to say one thing. Muruga, you say some amazing numbers, like almost 80-90% of the women don't have access to clean hygiene.
That's what I'm coming to point. So while like Ink platform, Lakshmi gave it to me. Then I became a speaker, as Lakshmi told. Then I became a public speaker. On a particular day, on the year, I spoke in front of no, top brass bureaucrats and various central ministers in Delhi. I told not even 10% women are in India using sanitary towel. Very clearly told, not even 10%. So how, I worked for almost 7-8 years in the remote part of India in various deep pocket villages. Out of it, I got the data. So the data I shared with the bureaucrats, the officials and ministers, but everybody got shocked. Nobody ready to agree with me, because even while I'm selling the statement, because of you're seeing advertisement in televisions, the popular televisions, every 15 minutes, advertisement will come for sanitary pad. They will cut the sanitary pad into 2 pieces. They pour blue water, red water, yellow water. So out of it, you are having an imagination because of the urban way of thing. You have an idea, all women in India are using sanitary towel, or 80%, 90%. But while I'm giving the shocking figure, then nobody agreed with me. Then luckily the government, they called AC Nielsen, some consultant company from, I think, maybe a foreign company. They took 18 months time to come out the data. So Muruga told 10% women only using sanitary towel. After 18 months, AC Nielsen come out a figure. 88% of Indian women are not using sanitary towel by 2006. From 1947 to 2006, in spite of there is a presence of multinationals and various government department empowering women, empowering the girl, everything, they have a penetration 10%. That's what I never bother about while talking with Sanjeev Mehta of Hindustan Unilever. Later, while I'm speaking with Paul Polman of Procter and Gamble, I don't have fear. You company, in spite of having $100 billion revenue, you are unable to penetrate not even 10%. That's what I said. You leave it. I will take in my mode. So what I did, so far the sanitary pad or women personal hygiene products made by big companies into macro and centralized model of doing things. So what Muruga did, he made into micro and decentralized model of doing things. But while I'm displaying the machine with IIT engineers or so many educated people, marketing gurus, even branding gurus, they are unable to understand how this fellow is going to use this simple equipment to rub shoulder with the Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble. Like that they thought. But what is my idea is a new one. That's what I told whomever you are listening this video or the talk. If you are having an idea, that is idea is a fortress in your womb. It is a womb in your mother, in the uterus. Idea is nothing but a womb in the uterus of a mother. So no one know outside what is it is, what is the child. So that's what you don't bother, because unless otherwise the child is giving birth, whether it's a baby, a girl or a baby boy, then walking, then talking, then only know, oh, what a cute. All the people will come and, they will give that appreciation. But before that, only the mother will feel the baby is sitting there, she is talking with me, he is talking with me. So like that idea is nothing but a warmth in your uterus. So don't think people should appreciate your warmth. Who will appreciate the warmth? Unless otherwise you give birth to a child. So like that, what I did, I give a birth, I took the innovation instead of giving a argument and details in spreadsheet, Excel sheet, east-west lines, color graphics. I never did any spiral bound note or a video. I took my machine practically from Coimbatore to Madhubani near Nepal border in Bihar. So that was really Lakshmi having a very, very sensitive memory power. She said the Arati, that what the women in the rural area in Madhubani, that ladies did the puja for their own napkin unit, very first napkin unit in the world. But the women, they don't know. I never told outside. We set up, we made sanitary pads, then the miracle thing happened. Then I took that, I came back to Coimbatore, I made another machine. Then I installed in, in Damtevade, in Chhattisgarh. The moment I pronounce the word, the people hearing the word, they know, oh my God, it's an Naxal area. Then I started doing in Anandapur. Oh my God, Mao. But this all I don't know, Mao is terrorist. I saw women is in pathetic condition. I want to help them. I set up that factory. Then, slowly it happened. What is happened now? Anybody can climb by tearing tears on your eyes. So I struggle, now I change. But it should be clearly measurable by any third-party agent. That is very, very important. Why Muruga stories become viral? Even after 20 years, we have a connections because it is that's what I told. Success is not a destination; it is a journey. So I'm going on. I'm doing it. I'm a journey. So all the companies, the consultants and the institution from various management institutions, they're coming and doing the case study. They're able to measure. They're able to study everything. So that's what is measurable. Recently, the government remeasured the sanitary napkin usage penetration from 12% sanitary pad usage, it became 34%. So what I said, from 1947 to 2006, it is only 12%. It became threefold within 14 years.
Yeah.
In 2020. So in urban, it has become 47. It becomes 60%. So what is our aim? Lakshmi's aim or my aim or Jijendra's are with the aim to EJ? We want to make this into 100%. So even many Western countries not able to penetrate 100% because many people you are thinking India become a developing nation. No, this problem even in the center part of Berlin, center of Tokyo. Today only the Scotland is coming out free napkins to all school. Why? So everywhere, because some problem we never talked by public, that means it not mean the problem is not there. So only it coming to the public dialogue, then only you'll understand, oh my God, there is a problem. Even in New York. Why I'm saying it is an official information that what we are become the front runners, we are the country going to make 100% menstrual hygiene awareness country soon with the help of Lakshmi and Jitendra sir, like so many good heart people. So that's what we are traveling on.
I want you to expand on what you just said. You said that Scotland just announced, right? It's free sanitary napkins for all the people or whatever. What was your experience? Do you think there was a very large population that was not getting it, or was it affordability? What is it in a Western country that you have observed?
So again, like other commodities, they try to give a solution with a single product is impossible. Because luckily there is two women in this conference, Lakshmi and Vibhisha. As a women, the menstruation is not equal to women, same to women, or it will differ to women, day to day, area to area. Few state it will become very anemic, the discharge. So then how that multinational companies are giving a product and they are packing 8 or 10 in a single napkin, it won't work. So it should be personalized. So that's what then, many countries, they're using tampons, then, silicone cups. So they're unable to have a perfect fit for their own, anatomy or something, the details. Now they become aware. That's what the awareness is happening. Now the period products, they skip out the product called, even sanitary pads or tampon. Now they are calling as a period products. Later, I'm going to say, even I told, don't call it as a sanitary pad or tampon or menstrual cup. It is an absorbing agent, either outside the body or inside the body. That's all. It is an absorbing agent. That's it. So what your body is accepting, use that. So somebody is using tampon that cannot accept by your body. Because I had a story. A teenage girl admitted in London hospital with a lot of blisters on his body, some allergies happen, high temperature. The girl is in the ICU for almost 72 hours. So they're trying with all medicines, something they're unable to cope. Then finally, the sister, something a nurse, she saw the thread from his genital. That means the tampon. He understood. He just remove the tampon. In an hour, the blister will cure. The girl come out of the danger. See the allergy. So she is allergic. This is the first time the girl is using, instead of a sanitary pad, a tampon is an allergy. I found in German, few girls go for the silicone cup, they got allergic. Luckily, they know the story, immediately they removed. They sent a mail, Muruga, you told the story in other meeting. Immediately we removed, we saved like that. So these are all, so it's not about giving free or making the sanitary pad products a right of the girls, but very first is giving awareness. Menstrual hygiene awareness is very, very important. That's what we are doing. So many people are thinking Muruga is giving a low cost pad. No, we are using this as a trump card, sanitary napkin making as a livelihood, but women become a master on women personal hygiene. Usually people will.
I just want to say, Muruga, that 10 years ago, in 2011, when we told this story, when this broke out, very few people, not just in India, anywhere in the world, would talk about menstruation or periods. It was a very taboo subject. It was not a public subject. I mean, ever since then, in the last decade, it's become a very common subject to talk about, and I think I really want to acknowledge that change in conversation. It's like what you're talking about. It's not just what we each do, but what we catalyze. We start a process, and when the talk became popular, people started talking about it, everybody started talking about it, young people started talking about it. So now there is songs, there is products, there is first of all a healthy conversation about menstruation. And actually the term that's coined is period poverty, like how do we alleviate period poverty, that's sort of what they're saying. So I just want to acknowledge you first that I think it was your not being afraid to come onto a public platform and talk about, especially as a man, to talk about women's hygiene. And and I know personally in your family you went through a lot of trouble because you were talking about it, and they all thought it was weird, and you still persisted. The one thing I want to ask you from a personal side is most of us don't like being ridiculed, don't like when like your wife left you, your sisters didn't want to talk to you, your mother didn't want to talk to you. Most of us don't like that kind of a rejection. But what is it within you that made you keep going? Why were you okay with that ridicule? You were okay with everybody laughing at you. You were okay with everybody making fun of you. I mean, now it's a different story, right? But at that time, what made you go? I mean, what is it? What story or what feeling or what is it within you that made you keep going?
So it is really what Lakshmi asked is a very, very important question. If anyone there, younger generation, please catch it. Because many, they said, I believe in God. My role model is Mother Teresa, Gandhiji, Nehruji, But, if I tell you will get shocked. What kept, me to go further is my domain knowledge. If you're having a clarity on what you're doing is first, and the domain knowledge. So something I trying, it become fail. Even 999 times I'm fail. Tomorrow, if I change the angle of the blade 1 degree more, it may work. So like that, I woke up as a butterfly in everyday morning while I'm doing research. It is really a suspense day. Today it is become monotonous. I know upfront. Tomorrow is a webinar with Lakshmi, but it is not a drill. But those days, tomorrow woke up. If I switch on the motor, what will happen? The blade while it's broke or it should grind improper. So that is the beauty of the research. So that what the domain knowledge is very, very important. The base, because no one shake me, because I know I fail, but I'll going on, I'll do it. Second thing, majority of the people, they want, some cheer from outside world. They need a team of cheer girls, come on Muruga, come on Muruga. Not even a single girl, cheer girl is not, even my own cheer girl, my wife left. So don't expect a team of cheer girls, cheer family, cheer society, put a red carpet from you. Come on, nobody will call. Even you are a successful person, there is no encouragement, only for temporary. So that's what God already inbuilt. It is on mode, encouragement and discouragement mode. What has happened? Majority of the people, you love discouragement. The moment you discourage, there is a chance you go to bar, you call all of your friends, you celebrate the failure. But I am also having discouragement button. People trying to discourage me, I will discourage. But I am allergic to discouragement. Some chilies is dry on a first floor or something. If you walk, so what will happen? You cannot breathe. So like that, if anyone discourage, I will do like that. Hatch. Discouragement I treat like a sneeze, but encouragement I treat like my breath. Keep your encouragement is your personal inbuilt. It is nothing but your breath. But
Yeah.
you do opposite. Your discouragement is your breath. Encouragement like sneeze. No, you will just tilted
Yeah.
it. That's it.
Right. And I think it's very important, especially, for a lot of the people who are starting new things, what you're saying is very important, Muruga, is that sometimes we look for encouragement from the outside and it may not come. But what's equally important in what you said is to keep yourself away from discouragement. Because, I always say that if somebody is negative, just don't call them again. Don't be around them, because then that's all you listen. If you just by yourself, and maybe it's good everybody left you, because then you were by yourself.
Not left, no, not left the mom. I told the example. There is chilies. You can tell
Yes.
in Telugu. Merapayil entervation there, no? Is Merapayil, right? Why you are
Yes.
on trying to walk on the place? Change the route. Why you
Correct.
are walking in middle of mirchis, then you are sneezing? It is waste of time. Change your
Correct.
route. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. No, I think that's very important.
Yes.
The other thing I want to ask you is that you've had an opportunity to meet, people like from Bill Gates to, the royalty in England to governments, etc. What role do you think, if any, governments or large foundations can play in addressing this problem?
So mainly, even the pandemic, what is happening now, everything. So I was there in World Economical Forum in Swiss, in Davos.
Mm-hmm.
I found it is like, 1,000 Bill Gates, 1,000 Warren Buffetts. So like that is a very huge forum, World Economic Forum. But I found, the goal is become splitted. That's what I told sitting with Bill Gates. If all the, corporation across the world, you are doing some CSR or philanthropy, so take one motto or one solution addressing this one problem for 1 year or 2 years. We can eradicate the problem, then we can catch another one. So don't try to be a God to make everything perfect. Even God never trying to do to make into world into perfect in single stroke. He is providing only rain. You cultivate like that. So that's what I told. Your goal should be a single goal. Then anyone come, the whole world companies, corporates, everybody is focusing on one problem. I know in 180 days, any problem can be solved. Now it's scattered.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Like if we said, say, for example, 2021 is the year of universal education, whatever it is we take on, and everyone works toward it.
Yes.
I mean, and every year you take something new.
So here I'm not talking about the monetary power or volunteers. It became the talk of the world. The whole time of 180 days or 1 year, everyone, how that automatically the simple virus make, people to talk about corona like that. When there is no corona, we have to talk about longevity. So living without disease. The problem is everybody is trying for a solution. Nobody ever tried to eradicate. What is Muruga is trying to eradicate the menstrual hygiene issue, not giving a solution. I entered as a solution provider. Now I am more than a solution provider. I am trying to eradicate, like, Kali, Lakshmi. It's like a goddess. Eradicate it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that's an interesting thought, and I'd love to see later on some of the questions come up about this, or ideas on what can we do if we all focused on one problem. Now let's continue the conversation and say we say the next 180 days or next year is dedicated to women's hygiene, say, for example.
Yeah.
What sort of things you think could happen from a corporate and a foundation and an individual point of view?
So even let us take the menstrual hygiene issue. The final or last girl in the North Pole or in South Pole or in Alaska or in Kenya or in Eritrea, she should go to school without an option because of simple period problem. That is the idea. So the last girl of the age in the horizon, she should not option for her class. She should go without options. because of the simple period problem. So that is my idea. Yeah, that is my ambition. Should go it.
So the way you're doing it is, I mean, as you said, it's true. You have one solution, but there could be 20 other solutions. You become more a spokesperson for this more than anything else.
Yeah.
But if you look at the solution that you have, which is very interesting, it's not like there's one central machine producing it that's packaged and shipped to different places. You're saying, here is a machine I want to give to one woman. So she can make 500 pads, 1,000 pads, whatever is the capacity of the machine, and sell it in her neighborhood. So that way it causes women's empowerment as well as sells the sanitary napkins, not to talk about the reduction in pollution, because now trucks are not taking it all over the place and things like that. So if that's the case, how many women are on right now, and how many such centers do you think in India we should set up for this to be successful?
So in one stroke, we have to make 100,000 units across India. So straight away, we can able to provide a livelihood for 1 million women. So out of it, we can make the entire Indian subcontinent into 100% menstrual hygiene awareness country. So while doing it, it become a role model. So the nearby countries already they started learning from us, Pakistan, Bangladesh, even Nepal. So various countries already we are having a presence in 27 other countries. So these countries can come and learn more and more with us. Or like what we are doing on a virtual platform. Now even a rural woman can able to do this. A girl or women sitting in Anandapur or in Visakhapatnam, she can do it online to a Kenyan girl. It is a visual, so she can able to no need of language. Simply with hand, deaf and dumb language, she can able to train other women. How she is doing. It is a privacy. Now there is a virtual private call also she can make. We can train. That's what recently I gave a lecture on Google. That company Muruga, in what area we want to help something. I said, in many countries, I found it is a Wi-Fi, lack of Wi-Fi. So I know Google is sending balloons, some are hot air balloons. Murugas, please refer the area, we will help you. So like that, there are people. So only we need the volunteers. So the technology, the women, the problem, we can connect everything, we can come out the problem.
So I want to open it up for questions. Before that, I want to just talk about AMTZ. I mean, it was really wonderful. We introduced Jitendra Kumar sir to you, and both of you spoke, and you actually visited Vizag AMTZ, and they're looking to have some machines there through which they can train the women in the surrounding areas and potentially, enable for all the women to buy machines, etc. I mean, I want to break down what you said in terms of it's 100,000 machines. If you look at, if each site commits to 10 machines or something of that sort, you're talking about 10,000 sites. And when you further divide it into states, it's very doable. I mean, when you break it down like that, it's very doable. So we are starting with about 4 to 5 machines that are going to be at AMTZ. You want to tell us a little bit about how was your visit and what you would like to see come out of it. And for those who are listening on YouTube, AMTZ, you saw the video already, and they're doing an amazing job of creating space for equipment manufacturers to be there. As part of that, we are going to have some of these machines there that can be used to train the women in the neighborhood and then potentially sell it to them so they can set up their own centers, or maybe this center can scale up. All sorts of things can happen. So would love your feedback on what you would like to see happen with this, Muruga.
So really, from the day one you introduced, then Jitendra Sal called me. The moment he called, nothing he spoke on the call. He started inviting me, why not to come? He spoke on Monday, I think, why not on Wednesday, Friday? He's just inviting. So he never bothered about the corona, nothing. He's living as usual. I am the only person I saw in India across the globe without corona fear who is, Jitendra Sharma.
Yeah.
He never bothered. That means he's not, carelessness. He is wearing mask, he is doing everything. In spite, he don't have corona in his mind. I saw many people, they are having corona in brain. But without corona in the brain, I met only the person. Jitendra sir. That's what I alter all the program. I said, I called my secretary, Anand, you change everything. He told, sir, this Friday. Yes, day after tomorrow, this Friday. Because from Coimbatore to touch Visakhapatnam, I have to spend 3 days, the flight connectivity. But something, intuition, while I'm seeing a face or the voice, like how I met Lakshmi or Vibhasa, while I'm receiving Jitendra the voice, something called in Asiriri something, it is a call from God, something. It is not a personal call. It is some call to happen
A larger
something.
cause. Larger
Something,
cause.
it's a larger call. It's like echo something. Then I was there, like, then I saw, I met him, immediately, no talks, go and visit the premises. It took the whole day, Lakshmi. I spent almost whole day till night 8:30.
Yeah.
Then the word he told, what it is, Muruga, we are doing a lot. But you go and see in what way we can connect socially with that. See how open. We are launching rocket, we are going for a Mars, moon, everywhere, but I don't know how go near to social. So everything can be bent into social. That's what he asked. I saw a lot of, that's what the moment he said, come and do it something in AMTZ, I said, okay. Because not while we are going there, so many companies, they will change their mindset. They can socially. So I no need to go and preach every company. Definitely they will come to our premises. They will see, I saw everything related to medical. It is a medical tech zone. So the moment medical means it's not for God, not for animals, especially for human beings. So definitely people can learn, and the women, they will feel prestige, because there are so many even government run agencies, self-help group everywhere women used to train. But I feel AMTZ campus, they are setting a plant and they are giving training to women. The women feel they train through IIT or IIM. I feel sanitary napkin making certification from AMTZ, then Sharma sir told they are going to make a biomedical, the trade. This is the very first time he is told some technically. I agreed. So the moment she got certification, she can go back to her village very easily. She can funded by, a various scheme announced by state and central. Even we can educate them because we both are there in the campus. So we can educate how we can fund, how we can do. So definitely we can create a larger livelihood, and not only in AP. I hope definitely whether India going to be 100% menstrual hygiene awareness country or not, AP is going to be a 100% hygiene country soon. There is no doubt. Yeah.
Great. Thank you. So I want to open it up for questions. Rohan, if you can read out any questions that are there, or if we want to turn on the convention center to see if anybody step up and ask questions, please feel free, because this is the time to ask whatever you want to ask of either me or Muruga or the process or anything, how this will work, etc. So while we do that, and just about the numbers, Muruga, is it about 300 million women in India alone that do not have access to hygiene? Does that number make sense to you?
Yeah, definitely. Because why? Because it is not addressed for centuries. I don't know from when. Now I'm digging the Idigas, I'm going up to Tiruvallur time, when it has happened. So it is the oldest problem, never addressed by human beings.
Okay.
So I posted something on my LinkedIn. Even, that slaverism is addressed in 17th century, labor laws, even everything, capitalist, communist, everything addressed, even astronomy in 17th century was very, very important. The menstrual hygiene, the women is a part of the world, but it is never addressed. The world waited for a Muruga. That's what Jitendra sir called me. I ran away there.
Yeah, there's a question from the auditorium.
Good evening, sir. Dr. Kavita here again. It was pleasure listening to you this time also. So the question is, in the journey of life, we all have two ways to go, two paths to go. So how have you decided your path, and what is your opinion on this? How people should decide on it?
So very, very simple, Kavita. 99% of our generation, even you are having children, or while I am growing up, you will teach your children or your faculties, your seniors, become a successful man, successful, you have to live, you have to settle. They will talk about only about your personal achievement. So come out as a gold medalist from your institute, get a good job, get a good wife, get a good husband. Everything you want a good, in spite you are not a good. That's what a beauty. First you are not good, but you are looking everything good from that society or from the world. So here I am differ. So I am also achieved something or not way related to personal of Muruga. I never tried to achieve an Audi at my age of 25. I never attained my aim as a Ferrari at 30th age or 1 billion revenue, nothing. Simply, I ran away behind that rural girls and setting up my machines in rural part of India and rural part of the world. Something I am doing, but not in philanthropy. It is on a engineering platform, on entrepreneurship platform for profit. Note my point. But I took as, I'm aiming that, giving a solution to the problem, creating livelihood for the women, everything from my heart, I'm trying to do it. That's why the money, what I made is a byproduct. Not my point. So what I want to say, don't grow. Don't, even you're having a mindset, something achievement as personal, it is outdated. Something try to achieve on social, on business or a solution model, then the success will bring the money. So this is the two type of living life. So my type is creating a goal for social, that is become a personal. So moment I did, so all is followed. Padmashri, times under everything is following me. So why it is personal. If you take as a personal, even I leave that awards also to social. So that's this are two different things. Or you want to create only achieve in personal life, or you want to achieve something on social, then it will relate to your personal too. So don't go for personal alone. Do something on social. You can achieve two goals in simultaneously. The moment you achieve social goal, it is your personal too. That should give, this should add in a curriculum from the class of 8th. I begged in various states, few states they agreed, they get into the curriculum. In Delhi, maybe in +2, in Tamil Nadu also they did in +2. There is my story in even on textbooks of Tamil Nadu for school students. So this is what I told. So everything you fix a goal on a social change. If you achieved it, automatically it will become your personal goals too.
And I also want to
Thank you
add,
so
sorry, Kavita, I also want to add to that and say that when you hear a story like this, like whether it's Muruga's story or whatever, I think if each of us take it upon ourselves to make sure the story is heard by others also, because there are many ideas like this that don't see the light of day. And I think if we can each take it upon ourselves saying, hey, when I hear something like this, I'm going to do something about it. And
Yes.
not just the person doing something about it. I mean, like how Stindra is now doing, Dr. Sharma is doing something about it. Like, okay, let's set it up here. In whatever way possible, you don't need to go out of your way and say, now I'll set up a new company. In whatever I am doing, how can I bring it? And I think if we can do that, then
Yes. It really makes sense. Yes, we all should do, and definitely we are also contributing in this noble cause.
yes,
Thank you,
yeah.
ma'am.
Thank you, Kavita. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Go ahead, Rohan.
Yeah, we have questions from the YouTube comment section. The first question comes from Ritu, and it goes as, why do you think there aren't as many social entrepreneurs in India? And what's holding people back? Your take on that.
Actually, sorry, Muruga, before you answer, I want to say there are many social entrepreneurs in India. In India, we have 1 million non-profits. This is larger than per capita. Forget the number of people. Per capita, we have the largest number of NGOs in India. The problem in India is not having social entrepreneurs. The problem here is giving the support to social entrepreneurs. Because here everyone wants to do their own thing. It's like what Muruga is saying. If all of us collect together, there's a lot that we can do. But if you say, I only want to do in my school or my village and my neighborhood kind of a thing, which you should do also. But if we can all come together, a lot more could happen. So I just want to question the premise that it's not about not having that enough social entrepreneurs, but giving the encouragement to the current social entrepreneurs. That's the problem in India. So Muruga, with that, I'd like you to answer.
So it is very simple now. So even a regular entrepreneurship, you are looking as a cutthroat entrepreneurship, there is 99% of failure. So in this situation, Muruga is coming, Lakshmi is coming, they are telling, put your goal as a social goal and do it on your own. It is very simple. Social entrepreneurship is nothing but earn your bread and learn yourself. It's something, your son is going to college, is asking fees, you earn and you learn. This is the difficult method of doing, social entrepreneurship. So regular entrepreneurship is nothing but getting money from parents and learning something. So that's what, even sustaining on regular business is very, very tough. And being a social entrepreneur, sustaining is very difficult. This you need, a complete personality is very, very important. So if you are a greedy, you're unfit for doing, social entrepreneurship, something you are having a bad habit, addict to something. So if you want a successful entrepreneurship, social entrepreneur, you are equal to a saint. You only, dadi, something you are not in mutra, but almost it is true. Because you have to be stingy in everywhere, even eating, traveling, standing, sitting. So everything, then only I'm the person, I never change my machine rates for last 5 years, even in spite of pandemic, lot of stack changing. How it is possible? So I will do 10 people work at my workshop. So I don't have this department, that department, you'll skip all, So everywhere you need what I want to say, a different touch. So it's not, very recklessly spending and lavish. There is no lavish in social entrepreneurship. It's very, very tough. That's what we had to come out. We had to teach the social entrepreneurship. So self-made entrepreneurs, social entrepreneurs will be very few. Again, I'm saying somebody who's listening, faculty from IITs or IIMs or any institute, please bring a curriculum for a social entrepreneurship. If you say they will drop their cigars, they will stop drinking beer, they will stop going to puff. So then they will mold as a social entrepreneurs. So a teetotaler only can be a social entrepreneur, nothing else.
I want to add to that, Muruga, and say that I think, the way we have evolved so far is that, okay, if you have a for-profit company, success at any cost, it doesn't matter what you do to the environment, it doesn't matter what you do, you make most amount of money. On the other hand, if you're a social entrepreneur, you should give up everything. You should not want to live in a nice house. You shouldn't want to make any money. You should be like a saint, like what you were talking about. I think in the future, as we move toward, there is a middle ground we all need to come to. Otherwise, the world won't sustain, which is that the greed has to come down. And I think corporations are already going through this, where your consumers are asking, what do you stand for? I mean, it's not okay now just to do whatever you want to the environment because people are questioning you. And secondly, if you're a social entrepreneur, you shouldn't have to sacrifice everything. You should have basic comfort. Your children should be able to go to basic schools. You should be able to be comfortable and have a good life. There's nothing wrong with it. So I think we are moving into a future where both the things have to shift. Success at any cost doesn't mean anything, or success at all costs also is not right. I think the right thing is somewhere in the middle, where we pay our people in nonprofits well. Why should somebody in the nonprofit make 100th of what somebody in for-profit makes? Maybe they can make 1/3 of it or half of it, or for that matter, why should they?
Usually, I will say like this, if the typical entrepreneurship is a greed-based profit margin, social entrepreneurship is a need-based profit model. That's all. So it's a very simple equation. Put a need-based profit margin. So if you want to send the children, to this convent, so it is a need-based. Greed is no limit, but need is there is a limit. So
I think
very
that's,
simply, I used to say,
I think that's a great line you're saying, Muruga. I think it's important for all of us as a community to move to a need-based profit margin and not a greed-based one, because how much can one person have? How should one person have? These are all the things that are coming up for, I mean, and we got to be careful because this can't be done at the cost of government intervention or a social intervention or anything like that, because we have seen totalitarianism doesn't work and neither does communism. So something in between. So I love this term that you're saying is need-based profit margin. I think if we can support our social entrepreneurs in a big way and make sure every corporation is a social organization, it shouldn't be the other way around, and create need-based margins, I think it'll be very, very good. Any other questions?
Yeah, thank you so much for the answer. We have another one coming from Shavanti, and it goes as, even though in urban areas there is awareness, but why do corporates are not recognizing the need for period leave? That's a question.
Need for what?
A need for period leave.
Period leave.
Period leave, yeah.
Yeah. So we are negotiating with various state governments, but the talks, it's already started from 18th century by big corporates. But whether it is a paid leave or 2 days leave, something is happening. Definitely, many Western nations, they will come first. Then automatically it became a manifest on election. Don't worry. Many countries already put a election manifest on their country. Soon it will come.
I think the way some companies do, which we did, is that you can ask, there is X number of sick leave, whatever that is. It's 10 days a year, 15 days a year, whatever, there's X number of sick leave. You can take it however you want. You can take it when you have your period, you can take it when you have a headache, you can take it when you have a fever. It means if I don't feel better to go to work, I should be able to stay home. I think that's how some of the corporations tried to handle it, to say, here is X number of days you can take off without losing any pay, and whatever you want to take it for, it's okay. In addition to that, what we are talking about is, in addition to that, for women to be able to add this. So we have to figure out how you can, make that a law, etc. That's what is being worked on.
But few corporates, they become a front runner by saying Padman, or like Zomato, like a new era companies, they declared the period leave for their employees.
Yeah. And the other thing, Muruga, I know it was being fought in India, was that there was sales tax on sanitary napkins. To remove that, there was some thing about that. What was resolved on that?
It's amazing. India is the first country, like subcontinent, they removed tax on sanitary pad. So these are should again and again we had a trumpet, but I know even the government never did. Our prime minister does, because it's not a small island or something. It is a huge country. In spite, they removed. It is a bigger success for us, but we are, every time I'm talking, we had to appreciate. But every woman definitely, they appreciate our prime minister. So they removed the tax for this commodity. That's why many countries they are following. India is the front runner. India is the front runner. There is no doubt on it.
I think this is part of the thing, is also a lot of the things that we do are applicable on a global stage a lot more. And I think if we talk about these kinds of things more on a global stage, more countries will follow as well. One of the things is, Muruga, I don't want to end this session without talking about your experience when you went to Andhra recently. You had funny experience with your idli and chutney, and so tell us about how did Andhra treat you, and how did you come in touch with your Telugu roots again through your taste?
Yeah, so they know, because I have to communicate. So we should not visit as a secret. Then they feel bad. That's why I used to tell this close circle, I'm coming tomorrow. Everybody surprised, because the situation around there, you're traveling. Oh my God. Then already I landed in the evening. They brought the idli and the dosa for dinner. Then I know about Andhra, something. A little bit careful while I'm seeing the chutney in red color. Maybe the mirchi will be lot. Then when I took the coconut chutney and I get the first, then I started crying. So one of my colleagues is sitting in front of me, sir, why you are crying? Then I said, Lakshmi can tell, it's Ananda Bhashalu. It's coming from my
crying with joy.
crying with joy. So it's such a, but they thought maybe the mirchi is little. They send extra mirchi in separate cup too. Really, but my tongue cleared, my voice is clear. I called my wife. How is my voice now? She said the voice is clear now. I ate Andhra food. You throw out everything, even the corona will die.
Yeah. So, okay. Any other questions you have? And I'd like to just take 2-3 minutes to let you wrap up, Muruga. So, Rohan, are there any questions? Any other questions?
Yeah, we have one more question coming in.
Sure.
The question is, how do you feel being a man who is innovating products for women? And do you think it can reduce gender-based disparity and contribute to reducing gender barriers?
So definitely. So many times I used to forget myself as a man. So that's not true. So if I say I born as a boy for my wife, first child, in spite my mother used to give like a makeup like a girl up to my age 13. Yeah, I have a ponytail. I have a picture. I used to show the picture in my talk, but on a particular day I am giving lecture on a AMTG. It is a surprise request. That's why I don't have a slide. So from my childhood, I used to move with girls. In village, there is no difference between girl or boy. There only we human beings. We never bother like a girl or boy. Then I studied in a co-education system. Like that, I moved around girls and women. That's why I'm able to see how they are struggling for the family and for the country. So that makes me in future to deal with that. And here, the menstrual hygiene awareness, if you create 100%, the women used to come to the respective country workmanship. They will join in the working force. The simple menstrual hygiene, awareness, lack of awareness, kept the rural woman or rural girl out of school. Then they are doing job in kitchen, in cattle field, in farms. They are not coming to the mainstream of the respective country workforce. So if you give the sanitary access to each and every school girl, they no need to option for the classes for examination. At least they will finish their school. They will come to AMTZ. They will make sanitary pad or do anything other works. They will join the respective country workforce. They will get dignity, gender bias, as well as the GDP change on the respective country. Such an important role is playing the sanitary pad. I told to our ex-finance minister, he is the reason. He really understood the problem. He laughed while I'm telling, sir, provide sanitary pad to each and every school girl. We can see the change in Indian GDP. Definitely, it never go down to 2 digit. I told. He died, but I remember on a coffee table meet, we spoke for 45 minutes. He is the reason for everything I know.
And I will say this, I think part of the question is, Muruga, being a man, there are so many things. He's being a man from a rural area where the problem really exists. It's not like he's somebody who's not experienced this. Really brings a lot of validity and opens it up. Initially, like his own family, the women felt very awkward to talk about it to a man. But it's in a very ironically, because it's a man talking about it, there's less taboo about. Women open up a lot also saying, yeah, it is a problem. And so in some ways you're taking away the taboo, taking away it's an awkward subject or anything like that, because somebody so unlikely is talking about it. And also talking about actually wearing a mask at the same time and testing it and what he went through. If he can admit to something of that sort, why not? Right? So I think that's part of the freedom to talk about. Yeah, Dr. Kavita.
Yes, madam. Actually, I wanted to talk about this topic only. The taboos which are related to menstruation. I was a part of Delhi government program where I used to teach menstrual hygiene to small kids, small girls, teenage girls. So, listening to them, menstruation still is a big problem, and taboos related to it are huge. They are very difficult to remove from the society. We really need to do something more about it in addition to like Surrey, the initiative which Surrey has taken. In addition to it, the taboos. We should do something about to clarify these taboos and to make people more aware about this.
Yeah, sure. So with that, Muruga, I want to give it to you for a couple of minutes to wrap up because we are out of time. So why don't you say something? What is your advice to entrepreneurs? Just a summary of whatever your learnings have been, if you can wrap up. And with that, I want to thank everybody that joined us. And the stage is all yours, Muruga, to wrap up.
So entrepreneurship usually it's not for everyone. It is for limited people. God used to choose to do this. So while you are chose for doing entrepreneurship, so don't look for only profit, revenue, something. So you are given a chance to do some change making, something change making. Or what I want to insist, don't look for an opportunity to take an entrepreneurship to earn money. So instead of that, look for a problem in the respective area or in your state or something. So I took a problem. Women in India are not using sanitary towel. Then I come out a solution with my little knowledge. I become a solution provider. I invented a machine to give a solution. Then I made a small business plan around it. It became an entrepreneurship. So like that, every entrepreneur, irrespective of any domain, you can be a solution provider. So if you act as a solution provider, you are there with your entrepreneurship, with your company to give a solution to the problem faced by the country or the respective state. So definitely you will feel proud, your employees will feel proud. Your company is there to give solution, not to create revenue. So I'm not telling don't look for revenue, revenue automatically will come. So this like don't look for opportunity or a market piece. Instead, every entrepreneur act as a solution provider to the country, then automatically you will sustain for a long run. So don't look for opportunity, look for a problem, be a solution provider. That's what I'm looking from every entrepreneur from India.
Thank you so much, Muruga, for your time. And thanks everybody for joining. With that, we are going to sign off and see you again in a month when we continue our conversation on TechRx. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.